name's Cheryl Weaver, one of your teachers here at Mindful State Yoga. And we are so looking forward to the day when we can all be in the studio together. Very thankful for technology so we can meet you right now in your living room until that day when we can all meet together. So a little bit about myself. I am a certified 200-hour yoga instructor. I've been teaching yoga for a few years now. I also went back and got an additional certification in trauma-sensitive yoga, which basically just means that all of the classes that I teach are taught through the lens of someone who is being sensitive to students who have experienced different types of trauma and mental stress throughout their life. So throughout my years of teaching yoga, I've had several students come to my classes because their mental health therapist recommended yoga for them during their healing process. So I just want to explain to you a little bit why yoga works for someone who is under stress. And right now, in this season of what our country and what the world is going through, we are all extra stressed out. So this is a tool that you can use to help you in your everyday. So you'll hear the word pranayama a lot in some classes as you take yoga. And what that means, prana just means breath, and yama means suspension of that breath. So basically, it's just slow, deep breathing. So one breathing technique that is a part of pranayama is called the Ujjayi breath, or victorious breath. And so in just a moment, I'm going to teach you how to practice that victorious breath. And I'm going to give you a little information of why it is so helpful. So when you are practicing this victorious breath, you are actually stimulating the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is a neural pathway that connects your brain to your body, and it helps regulate your blood pressure, your heart rate, and your digestion. So if you think about when your body is fully stressed out, you have the amygdala in the front part of your brain, and it gets stimulated and it tells your body that you are in danger. So you are in a fight or flight state. So you know what happens when you get stressed. Your stomach starts to hurt, your shoulders may tense up, all of your body starts to tense up. So we know that the things that we experience in our lives, our bodies carry that stress. It affects our bodies. So when we can practice slow breathing, stimulate that vagus nerve, it allows our body to calm down. So that's what we're going to work on today. So when you practice the Ujjayi breath, or the victorious breath, you are inhaling in through your nose, so taking a deep, deep breath, and exhaling through your mouth. When you exhale through your mouth, you're going to constrict the back part of your throat, and there's a couple different ways that can help you understand how to do that. And so one of those ways is if you hold your hand in front of your mouth, and you inhale in through your nose, and you exhale through your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. So go ahead and do that with me. And again. So if you feel that little bit of a constriction in the back of your throat, we're going to do that again, but this time picture yourself fogging up that invisible mirror, but close your lips while you do that. So inhaling in through your nose. And again. So as you close your lips, you feel that constriction in the back of your throat a little more. So that is actually stimulating that vagus nerve. So as you slow your breath down, the Ujjayi breath, or the victorious breath, is something you can do on your own. It's really helpful to do throughout a yoga practice, but it's difficult to start pairing your breath with your body all at the same time, and that's why it's a practice. So I recommend you practice that Ujjayi or victorious breath on your own, and then begin to bring that practice into your movement. So in just a minute, we're going to practice that as I turn onto the mat. So another good way to think about that type of breath, and I think it's really amazing how our bodies were created. Not only do we hold stress, but our bodies know how to react. So if you get really frustrated with something, you know how it is almost instinctual for us to take a deep breath in and you get frustrated. Well, you don't want to be frustrated in a yoga practice, but that same constriction that happens in the back of your throat, it is built in so that your body begins to calm down. So you know how you need to calm down when you're stressed. So let's practice that Ujjayi breath a few times. So inhaling in through your nose with me, we're going to do it 3 times. Closing those lips, constricting at the back of the throat. Let's do that together. When you are practicing the inhales and the exhales, it's also important to have the same length. So you can start out with just a count of 3 on the inhale, a count of 3 on the exhale, or move to a count of 5. Eventually, the longer you can extend that breath, so if you can get to an 8 count inhale and an 8 count exhale, that's even better. It just takes practice. So we're going to move over into hands and knees, and we're going to practice that Ujjayi breath with movement. So as you move onto your hands and your knees, we're going to place our wrists directly below our shoulders and knees directly below hips, taking our nose pointed toward the floor. We're going to move through some cat-cows, and this is something you'll do in a lot of your yoga practices. If your wrists begin to hurt, you can always take and make fists like this. Just making sure that if you spread your fingertips wide and pressing into all 10 fingers, that'll also take some of the extra weight off of your wrists. So we're just going to practice that Ujjayi breath, inhaling in through the nose and dropping the belly, lifting the chin on the inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone, round out the back, and tuck the chin to the chest. So let's move through that 3 times with that breath. So cat-cow is a great asana for your spine, also a great way to practice that victorious breath. So we're going to move into a child's pose, widening the knees, bringing the toes together and sending those hips back. In a child's pose, you can either have your weight on your elbows, you can use a bolster or a block, or you can extend those arms all the way out, or you can stack your fists to allow your forehead to have something to rest on. But we're going to practice a little flow here. We're going to inhale in child's pose and then exhale. Do that just a few times. Hands and knees. So we're going to pair those together. We're going to inhale as we drop the belly. Exhale, round out through the back. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. And this time as we exhale, we're going to sink those hips back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink those hips back. Inhale, exhale. Just practicing a few of your different asanas, pairing that victorious breath with movement.